University as Dean of the School of Education. Joining me today is Dr. Mervyn Wighting, who chairs our Career Switcher program. And we're going to have a conversation about what exactly is a Career Switcher program, and if you're interested, what steps can you take as a student? So, Dr. Wighting, thank you for joining me today. Can you tell us a little bit about the programs that you chair and that you lead for Regent University?
Yes, the name is self-explanatory. It takes people from their first career or their second career and transition them into being teachers. So they come in having been in the military or in the banking world or a stay-at-home mum, and at the end of the program they become fully fledged teachers to teach children in elementary schools or middle schools or high schools right across Virginia.
Okay, so tell me how that works. If I'm interested in the Career Switcher, is there any prerequisites or background that I need in order to start that program?
Well, we wouldn't take you into our program actually, because nothing personal, but you've already earned a teaching license, and this program is specifically for people who want an initial teaching license. That's a very important point. So the people who come into the program take all the preparation courses to become a teacher, methods courses, how to teach children, how to assess their learning, how to display the curriculum and deliver the curriculum, and also courses that give them confidence in working with young children, because it's not always easy, as you probably know.
Yes, absolutely. So let's just say I'm a busy working professional. Let's say I'm in a marketing industry. I'm not satisfied. I don't feel that I'm giving back or doing what really is that I would like to do, and I want to get into teaching. I want to maybe teach science or math. I'm a busy professional right now, still have a full-time job. How can I go back and make this happen?
Most of our students are in fact still working in their first or second career, and so that's why about 5 years ago we put the program totally online.
Okay.
So people can carry on doing their day job. Sure. And do their studying at weekends or in the evenings, at nights, and still carry on being fully employed. Excuse me. Some people actually don't want their current employers to know that they might be leaving to become a teacher. So it works out very well for them. They carry on doing their job, and then when they get hired to become a teacher, they break the sad news to their employer and go into their new career.
Okay, all right. So when you think of teaching and online, take me through like how would I learn in that online environment? What's that like?
The online environment mirrors as closely as we can a conventional classroom. And so the courses are very interactive. The group students are grouped up, so they work together collaboratively. Very important in the teaching world, because as you know so well, all teachers collaborate with one another at different points in the working week. And so we have structured the courses so that they do work collaboratively, and because they're all online, that brings them together. It's important for people not to feel isolated in an online course. It's very easy if you are living by yourself or living with your family, and you're the only person doing the learning because it's online. It can be a very isolating experience, and so we understand that, we recognize that, and we do everything we can to replicate a conventional classroom. And so the instructors in the program know that they are expected to respond to questions very quickly. Nothing more frustrating than to pose a question online or with your phone or whatever, and then wait 2 or 3 days for an answer from the professor. So it would be very unusual in the Career Switcher program to not receive an answer within 24 hours. So, because if you're in a regular classroom and you put your hand up, you don't expect the teacher to carry on teaching and ignore you for 2 days. So that's
a great analogy. Tell me about the employment opportunities. In other words, if I go through your program and become an endorsed teacher, what next? What are the next steps?
The next step is to get yourself hired, because although I would love to get all the people in my program hired, I can't do it for them. They have to get themselves hired. But we do prepare them as fully as we can. We give them practice in the sort of questions that HR people or school principals would be asking. We help them with their resumes and getting that ready, because although they have been employed in a career previously, That might have been 15 years ago, and they've
Sure.
forgotten the techniques of getting hired. And so once they get hired, then they move into the second phase of the program, which has more coursework attached to it, but more importantly, it has a full-time mentor assigned to each teacher, and that mentor becomes the teacher's best friend, confidant, number one supporter, big cheerleader, all the way through the first year of teaching. Very important because,
Sure.
as you remember, the first year of teaching can be a struggle, a challenge for everybody. I don't think there's any teacher in the United States or anywhere in the world who would put their hand on the heart and say the first year of teaching was easy,
Correct.
because it's not. So to have a full-time mentor there is a great asset, and I think it's one of the strongest points of the program, quite frankly.
Excellent. Sounds like if I were to choose your program, there's plenty of scaffolding and support. I appreciate you mentioning some of these folks maybe are considering switching careers but haven't gone through an interview process or even anything new, learning a new skill set in years, and your program helps to scaffold their learning so that it becomes doable for them.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So we talked a little bit about the online learning environment. Faith integration, we're a Christian university. Talk to me a little bit about faith integration and your program.
Well, as you know so very well, it's not allowed to be overtly Christian in a public school classroom. Now, that was a learning experience for me because, as you might tell from my lack of accent, I was not born or raised in Alabama, and the country where I was born and raised, the Queen is the head of state and also the head of the Church of England. So the integration for me during my formative years was seamless, and so I've had to adapt, and now I'm running the program. I think I know quite a lot about that because of my upbringing, and so in the program we do all we can to encourage our teachers to be very Christian-like in the way in which they deal with children and the way in which they deal with their colleagues and other people that they come into contact with, parents, very importantly, and without breaking any rules that laws that apply in the country. Some of our teachers end up teaching in independent schools, some in Christian independent schools, and so it's an easier situation for them. But we take it very seriously, and so I think any teacher that's been through our program understands that they can integrate their faith in the classroom within certain parameters, and that's what they do.
Absolutely. How long would it take me to go through your career switcher program?
Well, you're a smart person, and you would go through probably in as little as 3 months, and a lot of our people do. It depends really when they join, because some people elect to join at the beginning of an academic year and spread the courses out over 9 or 10 months. Other people really want to get the coursework done as quickly as they can, so they join maybe in May and get their provisional teaching license as soon as July. 3 months, very quick.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Then the first year of teaching for everybody, once that has been done successfully, ends up with the award of a full license, which is renewable and it lasts for 10 years. So once they have that license, they can move out of Virginia if they wish to, because it's reciprocal, and go and teach in California or Alaska.
Excellent. Now, there aren't a whole lot of, or many, career switcher programs throughout Virginia. Why choose Regent University? Why choose Dr. Wighting's program?
They should choose this program for all the reasons we've been talking about, but more seriously, it's the only program in Virginia that is fully online. It's the only program in Virginia that leads seamlessly to the award of a Master's in Education degree, and it's the only program that has a mentor, a standalone mentor, appointed by us, the university, to look after the switchers during the first year of teaching. I just want to amplify that because every new teacher in Virginia is appointed a mentor in their school. The school principal appoints a mentor from within the building. But you see, that person is busy teaching his or her own children anyway. So when there's some sort of issue that one of our career switchers needs assistance with, that person is busy,
Yes.
almost certainly. The Regent appointed mentor, however, is a retired principal or retired classroom teacher in his or her own right, totally flexible in terms of time, and can therefore be in the classroom supporting our new teachers as often and for as long as the new teacher wishes that support. So it's very flexible, and at those 3 points, I think our colleagues in the other universities are envious about, and they ought to be envious too.
Absolutely, and it makes perfect sense, and to have a mentor that you can lean on, ask questions anytime. That's not necessarily somebody that you work with.
Exactly.
And that's key. Last question, I know you mentioned about a seamless transition from the career switcher to a master's program. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, all of our courses are credit-bearing courses at the master's level. And so at the end of the level 1, the coursework part of the program, the methods courses, if you will, each career switcher has accrued 18 credit hours. In the second phase of the program, there's another 2 courses that equals another 6 credit hours, total 24. And at the moment, the threshold for getting a master's degree is 32 credit hours, so they're only 8 away. So it's what I call a no-brainer to not take those additional credit hours for 2 reasons, at least. First of all, you get paid the same. You do not get paid the same as somebody without a master's degree, get paid more.
Yes.
And secondly, when the time comes to consider being advanced within the teaching profession, to become a department chair or an assistant principal, the people who do the selection look for the master's in education degree. Now, some people come into the program and say, well, I don't really want a master's of education degree, I've already got an MBA, which is fine. And I applaud that. However, it's not the MBA that the HR people are looking for when it comes to it. The MED is the professional degree of the teaching of all teachers, and so that's the degree they look for, and so that's the degree that we make very easily available to every career switcher.
All right, excellent, excellent. Dr. Wighting, I want to thank you for your time today.
Well, I haven't quite finished yet.
Absolutely.
And I've got one very important point to make. Yeah, and that is that we're very proud of our alumni, all of them, because they're all very successful. They made the transition. Making that transition is not easy. I've done it myself, and it's a whole life transition. It's not just changing job. But one in particular I want to point out, and that's one young man who, until very recently, was the commanding officer of a warship. And he then decided he wanted to give back, just like you were saying earlier this morning, correction this afternoon. And he made the transition successfully, became a teacher in a Virginia middle school, and in 2018 he was selected from across the whole of the United States to be the National New Educator of the Year. That's out of the whole of America. So we're very proud of that.
Terrific, absolutely. Speaks volumes about your program.
Yes, thank you. And he's a great role model for all of our other switchers.
Excellent, excellent. Again, Dr. Wighting, thank you so much for your time. Folks, if you'd like some more information, please contact us at Regent University. Have a great afternoon.